So today we've got a build here, which is not really a build, it's more of an upgrade. So a lot of the parts on this are changing. I think the only thing we're going to keep is the case, this NZXT case and the power supply. But most of the internal components will change. So this is the inside of the PC that we are going to change. It's currently an i5 2500K, overclocked at 4.7, stable on a water-cooled all-in-one Corsair water cooler, and it's got a Sapphire Nitro graphics card in there. It's a 384 gig card. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And again, we're just going to keep the case and the power supply. So this is the CPU we're going for. We're going for the Ryzen 5 3600, which is a 6-core 12-thread CPU. It's clocks at 3.6 at the base and all the way to 4.2. It does overclock a little bit, but we're not going to be overclocking this system at all. He's happy with it sitting at 4.2 max. Again, this is the Ryzen 5 CPU. This hasn't got a built-in graphics card. So the motherboard that we've gone for is this ASRock B450 Steel Legend, as it says in the box. We've gone for this one specifically because of the design. Once I open it up, you'll see I kind of like the sort of digital camo effect that it's got on there, and it's got loads of other features on there. It's a pretty good card, and if it does actually say Ryzen 3000 desktop ready on the box, then that normally means that the BIOS has been already updated. However, if it doesn't have the sticker, you might need to drop in an older AMD AM4 CPU in there, update the BIOS, and then put the 3000 series chip in there, then it will work. So for the graphics card, we've gone for this XFX DD Ultra 5700. It's an 8 gig card. It's got 4 ports, 3 display ports, and 1 HDMI 2.0 port on there. So the reason we went for this particular card was within the 5700 range of third-party graphics cards. This one had the highest sort of max clock at the lot, and it was really good value for money. For 1080p gaming, for this price point, you can't really go wrong, to be honest. Obviously, anything in the NVIDIA range of graphics cards that sort of competes with this, you're looking at a lot more money. So for the RAM, we've gone for the Corsair Vengeance LPX. This is one stick of 16 gig of RAM running at 3000. I like Corsair RAM because it's reliable. I've always used it, it's never let me down. And obviously went for 1 gig of 16 stick as opposed to 2 gigs of 8 because basically it was cheaper. For storage, we've gone for Corsair again, the MP510. This is an NVMe M.2 SSD at 240 gig. The reason we went for this, it was good value for money for the speed. And at the time when I was doing my research, the MP510 was probably within that price bracket the fastest M.2 on the market. So this is just going to have basically Windows on there and some other programs, nothing major because it's only 240 gig, to be honest. The other storage drive that we got was this one by Crucial, MX500. This is 1 terabyte hard drive now. I've got this in my personal machine. I've got a couple of 2 terabytes in a RAID format, so I've got 4 terabytes altogether, and it is pretty fast for the money. Again, for the money you're spending on this SSD, you can't go wrong again. And 1 terabyte, this will probably store all his games, files, etc. on there, and there shouldn't be any lag or anything like that in loading games, etc. So for the monitor, he's got this Lenovo ThinkVision monitor. It's a 27-inch monitor. I think it's called the S27i10. I'm not even taking this out of the box. He's going to have his setup next to his current Asus 27-inch monitor. This one might be set up in portrait. I almost forgot about this little thing, to be honest. We're going to be using a thermal compound, which is the Arctic Sulfur 5. I know the Ryzen stock cooler has some thermal paste pre-applied, but it's not the best. So we thought we'd stick some of this stuff on there and maybe get the temperature down by 1 or 2 degrees. Who knows? Now that you've seen all the components that's going to go into this tower, this video isn't going to really show every single step of me taking out components, putting them in bit by bit. I'll do it in sort of short video clips of what it looks like with the components out a little bit at a time. When I built this PC quite a while ago, I forgot what power supply was in there, so it's actually a 650 watt fractal design, fully modular power supply. So at least we know what we're powering this new system with. So the graphics card is out now, so you can see taking it out there. Those are the cables right there, and this is the old graphics card, the old Sapphire Nitro. So I'm not gonna actually disconnect the water pump from this motherboard. I'm gonna leave it in there because he may want to sell this motherboard, RAM, processor and water cooler as a bundle. So all I'm gonna do is dismantle it from the case. So I'm just gonna take the radiator off the case basically, and then unscrew the board and take the board out. I've just got to show you this. This is disgusting. This guy tells me he cleans his PC regularly. Look at this. Nasty. You know who you are when you watch this video. Clean this shit. Fucking hell. So as you can see, I've taken the motherboard out now. There's just cables here, and there's 3 fans. One front fan which is 140mm. There's a fan at the top which is 120mm, and one at the back as well. And also obviously the power supply is behind there. And also what I wanted to quickly show you is what at the back. We've got 2 old drives here. The red one you can see just at the bottom is a Corsair GT240. That's coming out. That's being replaced with the NVMe drive, which we'll see on the motherboard. And the top you'll see, you can't really see here, but it's actually a Seagate SSHD, which is like a hybrid thing. That's coming out, and that's being replaced with the Crucial MX500 SSD. So I just wanted to quickly show you the old motherboard. Processors, the i5 is underneath that. That's the cooler. I've got to say, this water cooler was, when I was building it, it was a bit of a difficult thing to build, because these pipes here, they are so thick that they don't bend very easily, but we managed to somehow get into the system. And the board and the CPU came out back in 2011. So this gives you an idea how old the system is. However, it still plays fairly modern games at a medium rate really. So yeah, that's just the old stuff. So I'm just now going to just unbox the motherboard. Something about some memory modules. The backplate, I've got to say, this backplate's proper nice. Look at that. Nice. Manual. 2 SATA cables, 1 right angle. There's a little screw probably for the M.2 slot. That's a little riser nut for the M.2 as well, or whatever you call it. Some bedtime reading, some out-of-date software. And this is the motherboard. this down first. There is something else in here. Another little screw of some form. Now look at this. Beautiful. I love that sort of digital camo design that they've got on there, and these heat sinks that they've got here, there. It's got a nice heat sink for the M.2 card as well. Very nice. Just take it out. They've actually tied it down with cable ties, so the foam stays on there, probably to protect any damage. So you can see there's a cable tie there, there's a cable tie here, there, and on there, which is different. Let's get that off. So this is the motherboard without the foam on the back. See all the in and out ports there. So the back looks pretty bland, to be honest, but this looks really nice. Right, let's just unbox the CPU. This doesn't want to open. There we go. There's the CPU itself with a little sticker on it. There's a sticker there if you really want to use it. All the pins on the back. And the rest of the stuff. Some instructions. Rest of this empty. What we got in here? This is the cooler that we're going to be using. It's got thermal paste on there, but we're going to rub that off and put some Arctic silver on there. There you go. So I'm just going to get the CPU here. You can see there's a little gold dot there, and there's a triangle on the motherboard socket. So we're just going to drop that in there like so. Oh yeah, make sure the arm's lifted. Should just drop in when you find this. There you go, dropped in there. Hardly any force needed. Click the arm down, job done. So normally you could use these two clips here to put on a cooler. The one that comes in the box for this motherboard, it will sit like that. So you need to take these two plastic clips off these, and these need to come off. So this, and then screw straight into the back plate there. So basically, once you've taken these brackets off those plastic pieces, you have 4 of these screw holes there, which your 4 screws there from the cooler will fit in just like that. So what I'm going to do next is basically wipe off the thermal compound from here and apply a little drop of this onto the CPU there. There you can, as you can see, I've cleaned it all off. There's none of the old stuff left on there. So with thermal compound, everybody has different ways of putting the thermal compound on. Some people paste it all across, some people drop in the middle, some people do a cross and stuff like that. My basic method is squeezing about a pea size out, about that size. So what I'm going to do now is get this and just drop into the 4 screw holes there. One there, one there. There we go. and then sort of screw them in corner to corner. This one first, then that one, then that one, then that one, like that basically. So I've screwed this four screws down. It's solid now. There we go. So now I'm just going to take the RAM out of the box. There we go. There's nothing special, just a stick of RAM. And I'm just going to drop that and get it out. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. And so that's your RAM. So putting the RAM in, we're just going to get this stick of RAM here. There's a notch here, so align that to the little plastic tab inside there. You can probably see it there. And what I found strange was on this motherboard, they've only got the clips on the one side rather than having them on both sides like a lot of motherboards do. So the idea is you slot it in like that. When it's in, it should click as you put pressure on both sides. There we go. That's in now. That's not coming out. So that's the RAM installed. Next thing I'm going to do is basically put the M.2 slot. Now there is a slot here for an M.2 if you want to put one in there, but I'm just going to put it under this one here because it's got a nice cooling shield, and it's covered nicely as well. So I'm just going to use this slot instead of this one. So I've taken the screws off, lift this up. This is like a little sticky tab that you take off before you put the, it's like a thermal pad there. So you put your M.2 in there, take this label plastic off and stick it down. Simple as that. So this is the MP510 NVMe SSD. I'm just going to unbox that, show you what's inside there. All you've got in here is literally that, not much more. Let's open this up, take it out. There we go. So this is the MP510. It's quite nice, just pure black. I thought there'd be some ugly looking yellow branding like this on there, which will be hideous if you haven't got that type of color scheme going inside your case. However, to be honest, even though it's black on the back and the PCB and black sticker here, it's still gonna go behind this, so it makes no difference what it looks like, to be honest. But if you were putting it in that other M.2 slot, which I can just move my camera over here quickly show you, if it was there, let's focus there, if it was there, it wouldn't be too bad, to be honest. It still look nice, but we are putting it over there. Okay. So fitting the M.2 is very simple on this board. Literally line up that little notch there the right way. Get your thumb in there and just click it in. Once it's in, if there are some motherboards where if you haven't got the top plate, you can just put a screw there and it'll just hold it in that position. But what we're going to do with this particular one is we're just going to put this on here like that, and that will keep that sturdy. And with the thermal pad, which is sticky, that will keep that in one place as well, so you won't get any vibration or anything. So I've taken the plastic off now, so this bit's a little bit sticky. I'm just going to put a screw in there. Just check that quickly. That's not budging. It's in. Job done. Now the RAM's in the motherboard, M.2's in the motherboard. We've got the CPU and cooler in there as well. Now what we're going to do is put this motherboard into the case. So before I put the motherboard in, I'm going to have to put the IO shield in. This is very, very easy. Literally put it into the slot down here, like so, and just click it into place. Once it's all clicked in, top and bottom, that'll be nice and flush at the back. When the IO shield is in, this is what it will look like. just pop into place. Make sure you get it the right way around, otherwise you'll have to take it back out and do it again. Right, the next bit is to unbox the graphics card. I've actually already done this and had a look at it because I couldn't resist. Let's have a look for the camera. There we go. Let's have a look what's inside this box here. Something in here. Here we go. We got some Molex to power cables. I don't know what you really call them, to be honest, but yeah, there's some more here as well. If you need them, obviously use them. If you don't need them. Look at this. It looks a bit dull because at the moment all the gloss plastic or the matte plastic is covered with this protective film that I'm going to peel off. There's a back plate there. There's the end of it. So yeah, that is going to go into the case now. But I'll just do a quick unpeeling, as you call it, of a few bits. Oh, there we go. Blimey. There we go, look at this. Are you watching? Get this all on the... It's kind of strange sticky stuff because it's like stretchy at the same time, which is weird. It's not coming off as smooth as I expected. Look at it. What the hell's going on here? It's just stretching in my hand. This is actually taking longer than I thought. I thought it was just going to be one pull and it all comes off nice and neatly, just like a glass side panel of a case. But as you can tell, with one hand, it's a little bit more time consuming. There we go. Flip it out. That's what it looks like. Back plate. Oh, before you go to the back plate, there's a bit more here. See, this bit comes off. Look at that. One time. Right. A bit more here. Oh, that came off nicely as well. And then this piece here. That's what I expect. Look at that. X of X. Beautiful. I really like this actually. It's very nice. I like the design. It looks, especially this bit, looks quite futuristic. Nice, smooth. Oh, don't forget to take this off as well. There you go. There we go. So basically all I'm going to do now is drop the graphics card into this slot here. So this section here will slot into that. When you do it, you'll hear a click. So this is what the graphics card looks like inside the case. So what I'm going to do now is plug in all the cables, because most of the stuff's in there. There's only the SSD to put in, but that's fairly simple. I can do that at the end. All the cables are going to go now into the motherboard. So I might as well unbox the SSD. I've unboxed everything else. So inside here you've got some instructions. You got the actual SSD here, some frame things I've never really found any use for, and finally the SSD. There we go. Okie dokie. So all the cables are now plugged in. The only one there is blue. It's a bit out of place, but might change that to black. So 24 pins in there, USB 3 port pins in there, graphics card power supplies in there, HD audio cables, the fans, the front panel switches, the power supply, sorry, the CPU power supply there, all the fans. Just gotta neaten up the back of the case and then switch it on and see what happens. So I'm now just gonna unbox the monitor. That's the stand. So it's all booted up now. All I did was connect the monitor to the PC. It's all up and running. Just gotta set all windows up and it's good to go. So guys, this is the final completed part of the build. So I've connected all the cables up, installed Windows, switched it all on. It's all running nice and smooth. Just gonna put the side panel on and we're done. So guys, this is the actual used case. It's got a bit of wear and tear, but it's got a side panel on so you can have a look what it looks like. There's a little bit of reflection, I can't do nothing about that, but you've seen the internals without the panel on. So yeah, so that's this build complete. Well, not a full build, an upgrade complete.